It's okay. Off your mic, it's okay. Off your mic,
Chai! Now, wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, la mọ̀ dódódódó.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, la mọ̀ dódódódó.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun diary.
Thank you. Please share this broadcast. I say make I try this again tonight and see how it goes. If you like it this way, we can keep it just like that.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun diary Politico.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun.
As you are joining this broadcast, you know what to do. Like the broadcast, share it, okay? Read the caption and then the whole body, the description as well, just before you settle down, please.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
What do you think about this?
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra.
Share this broadcast. The news of arrested vessel stealing 800,000 barrels of Nigeria crude oil. And what happened after? The full story. Share this.
Ìjọ ìgbádùn yẹn. Presido bá rúfin o.
What about this?
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
I could be switching,
Ayé ìṣúra.
but I don't want to ruin your eyes.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
I will stay with one.
Ayé ìṣúra. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Ayé ìṣúra. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Ayé ìṣúra. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì.
Tinubu is afraid of Rerun. You probably have been reading about possible Rerun everywhere you turn to in the last 48 hours or so. I'll tell you the genesis.
Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì. Ayé ìṣúra. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì. Ayé ìṣúra kì. Maiyegun ti dé.
Mo ti dé o. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Maiyegun live. I bet you have come across that news of the arrested vessel in Nigeria. Something that kind of sounded like a breakthrough, a kind of a breaking news you would hear, and will give you this kind of a sense of settlement, kind of, about Nigeria, and say, oh, maybe they are beginning to do things right. Anyway, it is my pleasure to tell you tonight, or whatever time you are watching this, you don't know the whole story, and you deserve to know the whole story and the fraud behind this, and most importantly, like in particular, the economic terrorism that this actually represents or represented. Ladies and gentlemen, NNPC, or should you call them Nigeria NLPLC, the privatized national oil company in Nigeria, they shared a clip. In case if you haven't seen it, right? I have a clip here where they are celebrating the discovery of a massive vessel stealing crude oil from Nigeria, from Ondo State to Delta States, and somehow found its way to the backyard of Tompolo. Just to understand the backstory, we'll use this as the beginning from the NNPLC. But Tompolo was the one who discovered it. Watch this.
There is one here too. There are two. On the other side of the park. Here. All the boat will be gathered together.
when they are done. Open up all bottles.
So that's the vessel. But here is the backstory. Remember sometimes in February this year, when they said they discovered a vessel stealing crude oil in Nigeria, and in order to give credence to the years of our exposure and me exposing this oil theft in Nigeria, they finally admitted, and they said, oh, we caught one. Now, when you finally catch one of these guys, what would you do as a country? You have the people who are stealing your crude oil. You have the vessel laden with your crude oil on your water. So what would you do first? In Nigeria, what they did was to destroy the evidence. They burned down the vessel. And they claimed to have arrested the crew on that vessel. But you see, this particular one is a very unique story. Okay? You see that vessel you saw in that video, it's not just any vessel. In 2011, that same vessel was arrested on Nigeria water for the same crime, stealing crude oil. The owners of the vessel is a well-known person in Niger Delta as well, like very well known. Now, when he got arrested by Nigeria, right, and the vessel got confiscated, end of story. Yesterday, the same vessel was arrested on Nigeria water, stealing crude oil. How? The story is that immediately after the announcement of the arrest of the vessel in 2011, by the end of 2011, 2012, this was under Goodluck Egbere Jolantano, the vessel was released and it just continued its business. From the record, they said this vessel has been lifting hundreds of thousands of crude oil out of Nigeria on a regular basis for the past 12 years. I don't want to do the math. Okay? But there is even like more bigger story behind it. So what now happened is that, remember that Asari Dokubo has become the friend to Tinubu. Okay? During the election, Asari Dokubo was said to have bragged that even though the peanuts he got under, even though whatever he got under Bokwari was peanuts, that when Tinubu become president, the contracts of protecting the pipelines, the waterways, and the rest of that will solely rest on him. And that position has been the position that Tompolo has enjoyed for the past 10 years. The last time, the Nigeria Maritime Service, Nigeria Navy, Nigeria Military, and Nigeria whatever security they abandoned the security of Nigeria waterways, including the important oil facilities. They handed them straight to the hands of Niger Delta militants. Now, in the real context, in the reality, this people can be considered or classified as economic terrorists. Nigeria is a country whereby the crude oil happened to be the major forex earner for Nigeria and should have been the most protected and the most accountable sector of Nigeria life. But it has been the most corrupt and the darkest of the darkest corruption you can come across on this surface of the earth. It is so bad that it's more or less like irredeemable. And here it is. Tompolo is more powerful than the Nigeria military, Nigeria Navy, and all of these guys in maritime and all of that. To the point that he was being paid 4 billion naira every month. And you know what they did? Remember the time of Niger Delta militancy, when some people believed that they were fighting because of their exclusion from the proceeds of oil, which is their own resources. The people, the places have become so environmentally destroyed. Economy, maritime economy in that part of Nigeria is almost non-existent, right? So they had the right, they are fighting for the marginalization. That's why they bought guns. Initially, remember, the Yaradua came and he gave them amnesty. Now, giving them amnesty was that, listen, all of you who have picked up arms will send you to school anywhere in the world. The rest of you will be paying you salary and the rest. So don't attack oil installation, because their activity led to economic sabotage. In that protest, everybody felt like, oh, they are fighting for the people. No. So what came out of that was that they have different warlords in different parts of Niger Delta. And the rivalry between the supremacy between them is defined by the amount of firepower they control. When I say firepower, there are only two group of people that can start war in Nigeria today, and they have what it takes. I'm not saying they win any war, but like they can start what is called civil war in Nigeria, and it can shake the entire world. What will be happening? They are two. All right. The first one are the Boko Haram Fulani terrorists combined, all the jihadists up north. They have weapons, including rocket launcher and the rest of that. The second set are the Niger Delta militants. So immediately the deal of amnesty came up. So instead of them being called militants, with the weapons and everything they have, okay, they smartly turned to security companies, private security companies. So they were those kidnapping oil workers and the rest, okay, for ransom. Now they became the provider of security for the oil workers and any oil installation, as long as you give us a cut. So that kind of gave them a bit of relative peace when the government of Nigeria abandoned the security of oil installation and the rest. So what then happened? It became, instead of the security Nigerian government agents, security and the rest of them, to provide security in Niger Delta, they also became contractors to oil workers, oil thieves, oil bunkerers, and the rest. So the business was going on smoothly. Under Boko Haram, for 8 years, they were stealing over 700,000 barrels of crude oil in Nigeria every day. You heard me right, too. Every day, they were stealing 700,000 barrels of crude oil. Nigeria was producing 1.9 million to 2.1 million barrels of crude oil every day before 2015, before these guys came. Then what happened? Nigeria started losing the revenue from crude oil because Nigeria was losing the crude oil to thieves. From 1.8 million, 1.9 million every day, Nigeria oil production dropped drastically. At a point, it dropped to 800,000 a day. So do you know those difference? They were going into, it was like a big business. And Asari knows, but he's not being cut a deal. He's not being given part of that, chunk for years. And this is true, okay? So it became news. Tompolo has won another contract, 4 billion every month. And if you see these guys, they have gun boats. They have a monitoring boat, speed boat, everything. They are armed to the teeth. Their job is to protect the pipelines and the oil from Niger Delta from being stolen, But for 7-8 years, the stealing was steady. But when election was coming, they needed the scapegoats. So they showed us one. They didn't give us details. They burned the evidence down. And few months after that, the vessel that was confiscated 12 years ago, that disappeared and nobody was looking for it, was operating in Nigeria for 12 years, lifting and lifting stolen crude oil. So Asari could be in charge of Niger Delta pipeline security. So let's show some workings. We have caught another vessel that is stealing crude oil in Nigeria. 800,000 barrels of crude oil is, currently inside that vessel. Breaking news. Tompolo found it. Now called the Nigeria military, Nigeria Navy and the rest. And they came with cameras. Some of them were even eating. Okay? I'll show you a few clips. These are, available clips out there from the scene. Okay? Here is one of, hang on, where is that one that they seems? Okay, I'll give you the one that give you the closer look of the vessel. Okay? And I'll tell you what happened after. Another one. Sonistainia, kind of.
You can see the vessel. This is the vessel. This is the vessel that was apprehended by Tantita security personnel. You can see the platform with which they are loading their oil from here in the offshore of Ondo State. And you can see the vessel. You can see the vessel. The vessel and the crew members have been arrested, and you can see.
Shemi and you fit go get vessel, sail straight into the Ondo water, Ondo states. Come bring out our pipe, everything. Come the load, come the pump fuel. Come the pump crude oil from the source, Nigeria source. Sure, you think it's possible, Abi? Wait, the story gets more interesting. Watch this too. There is arrest, by the way. I'll show you that one.
I got it through bad, yeah? Bad. No problem. That's alright. That's fine. Hope you have no issues. Do you have any issues? Do you have any questions to ask? See? This one has no it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Even if government gets involved, I will be there. You understand? This is not the first time I'm doing something like this. It's not the first time I've got cooperating people. People who don't give us hard time. They give us hard time, then I take my hand off it. You understand me? But if you don't give us hard time, even the possibility of working with you.
Or the movie, right? It's like a script. And let me tell you something. Somebody lifting crude oil from Nigeria for 12 years, free oil that he can sell anywhere he wanted, anywhere. They were headed for Cameroon, according to the story. Well-written scripts. Tompolo boys, they arrested a vessel where it is loading crude oil from Ondo State. Okay? And it's very simple. If you ask me, my own verdict is that, see, about this contract where we they do for here, it be like say, sorry, won't collect time. And we need to show that we have the capacity. About we go sacrifice your vessel. She mean not the stolen vessel. I mean, it was meant to be a stolen vessel anyway. We go sacrifice them all. For Nigeria to show working. We'll bring camera, bring everybody. Just for the whole show. After the whole thing, when we settle, when the contract is back on track, you can go back and be doing your business. That's my verdict. But that may not be yours. And don't blame me, because nobody say I have trust issue. But when it comes to the criminals in Nigeria, it is what they call the more you look, the less you see. In this case, I get trust issue. Anything with has to do with Nigeria, and I've always been right. How about that? I've always been right. When I have that feeling and all that, it always makes sense because I'm not picking all these things up from the blues. I'm putting pieces of information together to build a whole story that can give you a clearer picture that they are not showing you, or they don't want you to see, or they actually don't want you to see that way. So you follow them, we go burn them, we go do this, we go do that. But maybe this guy will tell you more what they are doing. Watch this.
We're here because of a criminal ship that has terrorized Nigeria's economic sovereignty in terms of maritime for over 10 years. And we've been able to bring that particular vessel or ship called Ali Rizabe, whom later turned his name into Turatu, to book. That's why we're here today. And we've been after this vessel for a very, very long time. It's been frequenting quite a lot of platforms and jackets here and there. It's operated by a company called Holab Maritime Services, and somehow, somewhere, via satellite intelligence and also human intelligence afloat, we've been able to apprehend this vessel off Ondo State, and we brought the vessel here for you all to see. We're here because of a criminal ship that has terrorized Nigeria's economy. Advice is for them to stop, okay? Because in as much as they are not going to sleep, we are also not going to sleep, because we have to protect this country. So we are not going to sleep also. And you can see the boats everywhere. It's a clear sign that the Nigerian government forces are also not relenting in the matter. So they are going to meet us dollar for dollar in this particular business if they want to continue. However, having said all of this also, I will advise those who are intending to invest their ships in Nigerian waters from the international waters that you will not get away. You will lose your asset. If you give any Nigerian a ship to come and perpetrate crime, I guarantee you, you're going to lose your asset, because the Nigerian government is not.
That's a civilian, but he's a militant that speaks for the militants. So, for the media, we are doing everything to protect this country. And Nigerian government is not going to sleep. All of that now for the camera. But it is also at the same, it is also a show of shame to tell you that the giant of Africa cannot protect our own waters. Can't protect your borders. You can't protect your waters. You can't protect your people. The giant of Africa. Tell me that, which kind of giant be that? Eh? The almighty Nigeria military, Nigeria Navy. Asari Dokubo came out and said they were those behind oil bunkering, stealing of crude oil. You heard him the last time. He said it inside the old rock villa. He made that allegation. He said it. And he said he has spoken with President Tinubu. And President Tinubu is going to make some changes soon, including change the contractors who are, militants who are now contractors protecting the pipeline that is taking the crude oil, the crude oil from Niger Delta and all these places. And the people from that place, anyway, collateral damage. No be so? So people believe that that's just a show off. Do you know what happened next? I'll show you. Immediately after, less than 24 hours, so ladies and gentlemen, they don't burn the ship, set it on fire, burn evidence again. Ondo crude oil, that crude oil, 800,000 barrels, if there is no corruption in Yoruba nation, Ondo states, if they have access to their resources, do you know how much money they will make from 800,000 barrels of crude oil for Ondo people to spend on everything that has to do with their infrastructure? You know what I mean? Imagine that, 800,000 barrels and set them on fire because they want to warn other people from coming to come and steal crude oil in Nigeria. Show you.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it. You get it?
That's it. The end of Solomon Grundy. A vessel stealing 800,000 crude oil from Nigeria, confidently loading it at the platform. This one is not even like going to tap pipeline or ship move down like normal. So people are saying that, you know what? It is all scripted towards Tompolo and his team to continue to safeguard and protect Nigeria waters from the oil thieves. And they just did a wonderful job. Abba, they are capable than the Nigeria military, the Nigeria Navy, the Nigeria Maritime Service, and all those kind of different government agents that are working in Niger Delta. Everybody cashing out, milking Nigeria, economic saboteurs, or easily put, economic terrorists. That's who they are. That they are not pointing gun at you, kidnapping you and taking your money. It does not make them less of terrorists. Because with the activities of these guys and collaboration of Nigeria government, they are robbing you, robbing the people of the resources that could actually make life meaningful for them. And there is no end in sight. Someone would they cry today, cry tomorrow. I say, you will never see cry. The worst type of cry is the one that doesn't come with tears. That one is more dangerous. And that is what most Nigerians are passing through right now. If I must tell you, people are crying inside. Do you know what that means? People sit down beside you and they are saying, this economy. If you are crying and you are teary, in fact, that is healthy. You know what it is now in Nigeria? They can't even cry openly. They cry inside. And that is more dangerous health-wise from people who have, who have shared that with us in the past. However, ladies and gentlemen, talking about terrorists, Nasarawa, yesterday I told you about the terrorists who have banned fishermen or fishing in Borno. 6 communities or 8 communities in Borno declared fatwa on anybody that is a fisherman. You will die, they will say. They kill those they can kill and chase away those they can chase away, and nobody can save you. Those are terrorists from Borno. The terrorists in Plateau State, Josi, Baba, they killed over 450 Nigerians in a space of 2 months, Baba. 450 human beings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Baba, if I ask you to count 1 to 450, it will likely take you more than 15 minutes. Just count, not to say count 450 people and tell me how many hours that would take you. That's how many people killed by these terrorists in Plateau State. In Benue State, they have killed over 70 people just 2 days ago. 21 youth were slaughtered by these Fulani terrorists. Also, Middle Belt and North. Ladies and gentlemen, Nasarawa has been under intense terrorism in the last 72 hours. No joke. It may not be making news in Nigeria that much, but let's give thanks to the crew of Arise Television or Arise News. They were able to bring this to fore with visual evidence. Over 150 people have been killed in Nasarawa State alone by terrorists who are chasing after their mineral resources. Lithium. Lithium. Do you know what is called lithium? Abokonkani. Baba, they said before this whole thing, lithium used to be around 1,500 pounds. $500 per ton. They said this in the last 5 years, lithium price has jumped to over 10,000%. They are now selling a ton for over $80,000. And hunting for this requires chasing the people who are the owners of the land away. 150 slaughtered is not making headway. You are not even angry in Nigeria. Do you know Kenyans are beginning to protest now? You know why they are protesting? Cost, too much, high cost of living, so to say. Okay? Everything is going up and going up and going up. They can no longer bear it. They are on the streets right now. In Nigeria, they are slaughtering people. They don't make news that much. Okay? People are going through hell right now. They can only tell you when they come around to ask you for help. They can't ask their government. Unfortunately, Abi. Right. I'll take you quickly to Nasarawa. I think I have the clip here.
These are lorries operated by a mining company in Nasarawa State, leaving the site fully loaded with substances suspected to be lithium. They are being transported to places where other aspects of production are carried out before it is ready for export. The fact that the movement is taking place at night raises questions about the legality of their operations. The community is accusing the company of illegally operating on the land without approval. Sani Adagbaoku is an indigene of the community. He says he is the owner of the property on which the mining activities are being carried out. He's also brandishing this document originating from a high court in Nasarawa State, indicating an interim injunction restraining the Chinese company from trespassing or carrying out any activity whatsoever on the disputed land. However, this has not stopped the Chinese company from going ahead with its mining on the over 50 hectares of land. The community also accuses the security operatives of providing cover for the illegal operation. The arrival of a TV crew at the location is met with stiff resistance by the security team of the mining company. They overpower the policemen providing cover for journalists who have come to investigate the claim and counterclaims being made over the land. There were also attempts to harass journalists and stop them from filming, thus necessitating the discreet recording. Sani Adagba explains that the company claims to have bought the land from some unverified persons posing as family members.
So from the beginning, the information we got is that it's another person from this our community that went to sold the land to them, which the land does not belong to that family. So later on, after the investigation, they discover that the land belonged to us. So from then, they started approach us to sit with them and write agreement with them, but which we say no. Because when they came, they say if you like, whether we like or not, they will work. And since they came in then, they were working there. So, and we even take the issue to the court stopped them from working, but then they refused to stop. And we don't want any violence.
You get the one that you understand. I know a lot of you know what is going on just listening to that, okay? But I'll give you the backstory. Corruption in Nigeria is different from corruption elsewhere. If you have corrupt people in your country, okay, and to you, they are so good, they are this and that, you need to sit down, okay, and listen to the citadel of corruption. And that corruption or whatever, makes it sound like elite, posh, something kind of, corruption is corrupt. I'm talking about heartless criminals who who rule a country or, in charge of a country. As they say, you will never get justice where criminals are making the law. May I explain this kind of corruption to you? When you see something wrong in the society, the first point of call is to call the government. And then, if the government can't kind of find a solution, you can then approach the courts. So when you approach the court and court makes a decision, it is now upon the government to ensure the implementation of that decision in a working society, settling disputes and all of that. But what do you do, or what would you do if the people you want to report to, those you want to seek redress from, are actually the orchestrator, the people behind what you are going through? May I explain them to you? In some part of Nigeria, there are some illegal mining companies that are not illegal. They are illegal in the sense that there are people who have cited different kinds of mineral resources across Nigeria. And by so doing, they have mapped Nigeria and what Nigeria has. And with the ones they have interest in, they have mobilized resources like money to those who are supposed to be in government to keep the law. And somehow, some of these people are now brandishing licenses to mine anything in Nigeria. Now, what happened next? Some of these people, they now approach different communities. Most of these communities in Nigeria, they are agrarian communities. These are people who are naturally generational farmers. They toil their land every season. They are mostly not aware what is under their ground. But you see, what is under their ground has now become a curse rather than a blessing. Those who know better, who are supposed to protect them and their interests, they have sold them off to these faceless mining companies. Sure you get? And when you look at all these mining companies, you will see Nigerians among them. That Nigerian is not there because he is interested in mining. He is interested in taking his share from the arrangee agreement that got them that license. He is the one who got those people, like those licenses. So when they now approach all these farmers, all these people in their communities, they approach to buy their lands. Majority of them won't sell. Some are willing to. Now you see this sell or no sell, they begin to take them, and the time to start mining those land, when those time comes, they know those who are going to resist them. They know communities that fail to sell them their lands. They know people, prominent people in different areas who stood up against them when they are making all those illegal transactions. You may ask, where is government? I just told you. The government that you are asking of is behind this whole thing. Or who is government? Is government not the people in government? Unfortunately, most of these guys are actually people who come from these communities. They don't give a damn what happened to their people. So what happened? The mining companies who have already parleyed with those in government, they've provided them all of the kind of security they need. Remember, they have money and they know what they are going for. They know where exactly they are looking for, right? They mobilize Nigeria military. Nigeria security men carry Nigeria bought weapons. The guns they will carry, the bullets in those weapons, they are bought with taxpayers' money in Nigeria. But suddenly, they will turn to private security provider for these illegal miners. Do you see how illegal miners are not they are not mostly legal. Legal miners who are not legal that way. So those who are supposed to keep back report and say, these guys are doing some horrible things here. These are completely against Nigeria. And in all honesty, this is economic sabotage against Nigeria. Okay? Because all we saw, Nigerian military, Nigerian security men, they will see crime and they will protect that crime scene with everything in them because they have been told to provide security for them. Now you see the Nigerians, those poor farmers, those poor villages and communities, they then come under siege. They are either ready to move. A lot of them have been kind of stopped from farming. So they now deploy two ways of getting exactly what they want in Nigeria. Okay? So the first way is that if the communities won't sell, we can mobilize the terrorists there to displace them while we continue the extraction and all of that. This is the life of Nigerians in the last 10 years in Nigeria. It got so bad that in Nasarawa, watch this second clip from that same Nasarawa.
They refuse to stop, and we don't want any violence. Since we take the matter to court, we have also our lawyers do everything.
Reflecting on the activities of regulatory agencies who should exercise control over the company's operations, the community say they suspect foul play. They also accuse the traditional rulers of colluding with the miners.
So what we technically wanted them to do is to vacate that place. These are foreigners who come to our land without consent, without a proper license. They are being guided by soldiers, guided by DSS. With all the insecurity happening in this country, they're absolutely doing an illegal job there, as far as I'm concerned. Because if it is legal, that would be a situation where you have a legal license, you have a legal consent from the community. You don't have legal license, you don't have legal consent. Even if you purported to have a consent, that consent was defective. The rules for getting any consent, any license, you must have the consent of the community. You have interviewed the community. Do they have the consent? They resorted to even adopting this Baba, taking him and force him and backdate, what do you call it, a lease agreement, and force him to sign.
So they were discussing, and the Osajiri asked him to sign another paper. And you know Baba cannot read. He don't know what that paper means. So Baba said, no, he cannot sign. What this paper for? So according to Osajiri, I explained to him, but he said no. Then Osajiri insisted that he is the king, and whatever he said, that's what works. So how can he say he cannot sign? So he want to disobey the king in the palace. He now say, okay, if he will sign, let them call his lawyer. But his lawyer was not close, and his lawyer said he should not sign. But because of the pressure, they were pressuring him to sign. And he don't know it was consent letter that they are forcing him to sign. He says it's nothing.
With activities still ongoing despite a subsisting court order, the community is apprehensive. Events might snowball into a violent crisis, according to security experts.
So do you get the other part of the story there now? That is the story of an average poor Nigerian in Nigeria of today, wherever you come from. Royal fathers. Shibi, I've told you about those in government, Abi? Royal fathers, kings in Nigeria. Once they get paid too, in fact, they are the champion of those selling their lands to these people. Are you sure you are going to take care of me? Will you take care of the king? Yes, we'll take care of you, sir. Everything you want. In fact, I just saw that that your car is 2010 car, sir. I can ask them to bring you 2023 Mercedes-Benz, Formatic, Maybach, this and that, sir. Just to let you know that once we start operation here, we will take care of you. We can even rebuild your palace. It is the king that will list the names of families who own the land in his own part, I mean, in his kingdom or whatever. This is how bad it has become. But there are other implications. Okay? Currently, Nigeria is facing food crisis, food inflation. Isn't it ironical that Nigeria, that is so blessed with the best of the best weather, including the best of the best soil, to grow any kind of food at any kind of weather, all weather, is a country that is so poor that it cannot grow our own food, feed our own citizen, and it became the largest importer of food in the entire Africa. Isn't it ironical? Because the last 10 years in Nigeria, I've seen the exponential growth of terrorism. A lot of people kind of feels this is primarily religious. We need your land. We need you to do this. We need to. If you are not, if you don't accept Islam, we're going to kill you. Boko Haram. If you don't give us your land, we're going to kill you. Fulani terrorists. Now we have discovered that it is not only religious or whatever. It is mainly mineral resources, and it is something that has been going on for years now. Sure, you get. Unfortunately, there is no end in sight. Because there is even more. I'll tell you this one, that people are not thinking, just like the people of Niger Delta. When you see all these oil thieves, and those who are supposed to stop them, protect the environment, protect the people living in these areas. There are health concerns, there are health hazardous, there's hazardous content that are released into the air, wherever you are having mining, or you are having crude oil exploration, sure you get. There are toxic, hazardous content that are always in the air. Now, those who are supposed to reduce the exposure of those hazardous content are those who are providing security for the criminals who are releasing those hazardous content. Look at all the oil spills in Niger Delta. Look at the gas flaring in Niger Delta. Look at those who are now mining everywhere up north, killing people because they want to mine lithium. They want to mine, wait till the other one, Californium. There are health concerns. There are hazardous health implication for all of this. In Niger Delta today, a lot of people, a lot of children are going to suffer serious kind of different kind of, health problems that they won't even be able to explain. Their water is contaminated. Their soil is contaminated. Now, their air is contaminated. The kind of air they breathe in every day, they don't even have a clue. Nobody can rate and say, oh, this is how dangerous the air is. Nobody is interested. It is just that money. So same thing is happening. If you go to so many parts of Yoruba land today, these illegal miners with all of these licenses are digging into the ground, chasing farmers away from their land, encouraging or forcing some of them to sell off the land or lose their lives, only to start digging different kind of minerals that they are digging out for profit and nothing about the environment. So if there's anything the world should know happening in Nigeria, is that you have a religious terrorist, you have economic terrorists, and you have terrorists who are like committing crime against humanity. You see, these people who are located in all these areas across Nigeria, they have been exposed to a lot of danger that will shorten their lives. And I don't think it's actually a concern for the criminals ruling Nigeria. You will never get justice anywhere governed by criminals. You will never get justice. I thought I should point that out. And then hopefully, the people of Nigeria, they will see more than what all those buzz sound and those destructive news, and probably look into how much danger these guys are condoning deliberately, all for money. Anyway, going forward, ladies and gentlemen, the rumor about Rerun is Tinubu trying to get ready for a rerun. Where is that coming from? Well, it's all coming from the Labour Party chairman, Julius Abure. Well, he gave a press conference yesterday or so, or 2 days ago. In fact, yesterday. And in that press conference, he was calling on the obedient. Said, the obedient shouldn't, by any means, go and sleep. That from what they know, Tinubu is offering appointment to all the people they can find in opposition in a way that if the Court of Appeal Tribunal should order for a rerun, so that it would have enough people that will kind of, you know what I mean? I want you to listen. That's not the only thing he said, right? I'll join my own rejoinder. Have you shared this broadcast, by the way? Have you liked it? No, you haven't. Come on, you can still like it now. And have you shared the broadcast? No, you haven't. If you have done both, don't worry. Watch this. Abure, Labour Party chairman.
I appreciating the gentlemen of the press. Let me appreciate the members of the State Working Committee. Appreciate all the leaders of our party. We want to appreciate all the support group. We want to appreciate the PCC members who are here today. I want to start this address by first appreciating the gentlemen of the press for the immense support that the party have enjoyed. We appreciate your kind words. We appreciate you for all the support that you've given to the Labour Party, to the presidential candidates, and indeed to all the candidates of the Labour Party during the electioneering campaign and during the election itself and after the election. I want to say that our work was made easy because of your contribution and because of your support. There's no gainsaying the fact that the press adequately reported us very, very well, in spite of the fact that we're not having the huge resources we're not having deep pockets to acquire the press as others will do. But out of your zeal, out of your magnanimity to promote the country, to have a new Nigeria, the press indeed supported us. I want to appreciate you for that, especially given the fact that I'm from Edo State, and most of you report from Edo State. I want to say that I'm grateful to you for what you've done for us. I am in the state, I came into the state since Friday. First, to appreciate the leaders of the party, our party members, for the feats we have achieved during the just concluded general election. I started my journey from my ward, Ward 3, Esa Northeast, where I met with all the leaders of the party and appreciated them for the good job they have done, because in my ward, I won all my elections. I won the presidential election. I did not just win my unit, I won the ward. In the presidential election, I won massively. The House of Assembly elections at the national level. They didn't allow me to have crisis at the state level. They supported me. In fact, the state chairman of the party was with me in Abuja, and they became my rallying point, became one of the sources of my strength. And therefore, I felt it was necessary to come and appreciate them, and I did that to the state working committee and the National Executive Council yesterday. We also took the opportunity to examine the party with a view to seeing, we did a postmortem of the just concluded general election with a view to planning for the 2020
election. Sorry, I just checked my time. I'm going to say the rest, okay? And then we can take it on. So Abure came out and said that from what they believe he's trying to do, not for the facts, okay, is that he might be kind of working towards, solidifying possible space and all that he missed out the last time, or even weaken the opposition more if they should go for a rerun. Now, see, guys, this is my view. You understand? You don't have to agree with me because it hasn't happened yet. So you and I may not have to be on the same page on this, but listen to me. There is not going to be any rerun election. Sure you get? There won't be any rerun. Now, there are possible two scenarios, and it's very straightforward. If the court follow what actually uses the evidence before them from what we gathered, anything that will lead to, if anything is going to happen to Kolu, it will start from disqualifying him. And that's a very big move, which is if Kolu is disqualified in their ruling, so they will have two options. One, they will need to declare whoever scored the highest votes winner. Or they won't kind of bank on any evidence as we all expect. And they will tell everybody to go to hell. They will declare Kolu winner. Now, don't get confused. The point here is this. These guys have all these things kind of planned all the way, but maybe not this way, right? If Kolu, if anything is going to be announced around the election, right? If Kolu is by any chance also declared to participate in a rerun, it's so, there is no real point as to it. You know what I mean? Or maybe you don't. But let me put it this way. You see this issue of the court, no matter expectation you are building based on what you think is going on, I don't want to rule it out for you, but I want to remind you, okay, that at some point, you would need to beat yourself to reality, okay? There's nothing wrong in expecting, okay? But with this that you know, okay, they will never dare to touch that election per se. And if they are going to do it, Baba, it will be just a momentary entertainment. What is momentary entertainment? The Court of Appeal says Tinubu didn't win. So who won? And how? Oh, the appeal court says, Tribunal says they should go and do a rerun. Remember that the Supreme Court is still there. Abi? Now that can give you that kind of, adrenaline rush that, yes, I knew it. That's why I said it hasn't happened. So don't get worked up on it, okay? Don't see it as, but it can happen, of course. And it can't, it can also not happen. Sure you get. And in this regard, Abure is reminded that rerun is not even an option per se. Okay? If the tribunal is going to do what is right, Peter Obi won the election. Shemika tells you that even me, that monitored the election to tilt, I would likely say, if they feel like it didn't match whatever in their own book, they at first will never declare anybody winner. They would have declared the rerun in the first place. Not a rerun, rather, a runoff. A runoff is to further determine who won clearly. Listen to this. So, out of the 3 presidential candidates that participated in your election, after the rigging, the violence, and the rest of that, do you know that it is only Peter Obi that actually genuinely won in 4 geopolitical zones of Nigeria out of 6? Convincingly. Atiku won in his, what did they call that place now? Is it Northwest? Northwest. Adamawa, Kaduna, and this, right? Tinubu won in this other part of the north, which is northeast, northwest. The north central that they rigged, they always call the middle belt north central. That axis, PDPO, APCO, they don't get anything. So Peter Obi won in middle belt, which is the north central of Nigeria, except for Kwara. In southwest of Nigeria, he won in Lagos, the major place. Also pull enough that Atiku and Tinubu couldn't actually pull any majority. He did that in southwest. Yeah, he did. He won easily. He won the entire southeast. He won the entire south to the Niger Delta. I'm saying if you remove all of this nonsense, so that you kind of know why he's not, Abi. He won in Abuja. APC, Egbekegbe, ruling party. They lost in Lagos. They lost in Kano. They lost in Katsina. They lost in Kaduna. These are major places where they were actually the ruling party in those places. That happened. And guess who won in those places? Peter Obi, Atiku, and Kwakwanso. I mentioned 4 now. He won in Abuja. He won in Lagos. And none of them could pull what the number he pulled. So, of course, when you talk to Obedient, they will tell you, rerun is expensive. It's unrealistic. Tinubu, if you order any rerun that Tinubu is also going to be part of it, then what is the essence of any rerun? He's in charge. He could use that same. Does that mean that he's going to still be the president and they will be doing a rerun election? Doesn't make any sense. But it's good for everybody to have imagination. Sure, you get. There's nothing wrong in it. You can sit down and just imagine. Because I too believe, if the court says, may they remove Tinubu, heaven no go follow. Take that from me. Also, if their court says you cannot remove Tinubu, heaven no go follow. everybody would have to kind of brace up and learn a new defense tactic and a new fighting technique. Bokuwari turned a lot of you into activists or songongon when his shege did not spare anybody. So what I'm trying to say here is this. If the court says they should remove Tinubu, it's not qualified this and that. Everybody can speak and scream and do all of, nothing will happen. No. And if their court says they should declare, if their court declared Peter Obi as the rightful winner, having met all of the legal whatever, Baba Evo no go follow. Yes. Go yes, scream here, scream here, scream there, here, scream, everywhere, scream. You go just scream. Nothing will happen. No. Are you with me? But going to the real world view, I am going to say imagination should be managed. Remember when we were talking about managing your expectation? You know what is right. You expect them to follow what is right. Abi? And if they fail to, you know that they are likely going to ignore it. But what if they don't? What if they now kind of follow the law for real? What if they declare Peter Obi? What if they declare Atiku winner? What if they, you know what I mean? I'm just like, so, but in all of this what ifs, we call it manage your expectation. If it goes this way, if it goes that way, you will know why. You will know why. Abi? So it is the same way to say manage your imagination. Because as things be now, with the little shege Tinubu is showing, some are saying that, like all of you are waiting for the court. Tinubu is also waiting for the court. Once the court says, say go, move on, go ahead, go and deal with them. Are you with me? Then it'll be up to you what you do next and all that, Tabi. Anyway, I am just saying that the rumor about Rerun and the rest, manage your imagination and all that, okay? In the next 2 weeks, is it up to that? Maybe next in a week or 10 days or so, yeah, Peter Obi, Atiku, Tinubu, shitty man, APC, Egbekegbe, people destroying people, and the rest of them and their lawyers, they are going to give what is called speech. No, is it called speech? I don't know. They have a name for it, that they have to come. You see everything you have been reading all this while, all the evidence, exhibit, and the rest of that, they will come and give their closing kind of remarks. Then you will wait for another 2 weeks or less. The tribunal will release their own ruling. They call it ruling. And that will be the beginning of what is likely going to happen after. I am quite anxious, not anxious, I'm quite anticipation, kind of in the anticipatory mode to say, yeah, let's see what's going to happen after that. Yeah? But manage your imagination. And if this doesn't have anything on you, that's fine. You know what I mean? I just thought we should touch at that. Rumor or no rumor, these guys have it all sorted. And to some people, Kolu, who is already using the resources at his disposal right now, to bribe as many group of people as possible across Nigeria, where he is so desperate for this legitimacy. Baba, and you are beginning to see that a lot of people are already telling you, maybe not God say Tinubu, some are already telling you that, one thing is that if God did not say yes, even if Tinubu wanted to rig, God would have stopped him. But it is maybe God just wanted him to be there so that he can redeem his image. He can do something good. A lot of people will now say, wow, and we thought this Tinubu na bad. Oh, maybe God want to give him another opportunity. I said, they play. Shotigbo, Komurasi. I mean, all the Yoruba Ronu, this Yoruba Ronu, that, they are being dragged. a few days ago. They're still being dragged right now. You know that of Ilorin Wahala, eh? The Ilorin this. Some people are not Yoruba enough. They are coming to take over Yoruba land. Yoruba this, you know that stuff. Yoruba Ronu. Omo. People don't they call them Yoruba Ponu now. You know those who are saying Yoruba Ronu. Yoruba Ronu is for Yoruba to kind of think. But because of election, because of Tinubu, they decided to turn that beautiful phrase to xenophobic slur, Yoruba Ronu, which is be careful of the Igbos. They are coming to take over our land. Any Igbo you see deserve to be this, to be done, this, to be their business deserve to be destroyed. They said they will kick out our Oba. They will say they will do this as a learning can't happen. And so we can here say all of the Yorubas or Yoruba Obas in places called the Ilorin Emirate, 5 local government areas who have Yorubas, indigenous Yorubas on their own ancestral land. They say you cannot appoint or have an Oba without the approval of the Emir of Ilorin or Emir of Kwara, or the Emir of where? So the conversation led into, exchanges that Professor Wole Soyinka, you remember, confessor. Anyway, Professor Wole Soyinka had to dabble into it, send his usual, jibe and all of that to Onilorin of Ilorin, Emir of Ilorin. And now small person can't reply the prof. They say prof no get home training. Prof no get a better home training. Professor Wole Soyinka no get a better home training. Yoruba Ronu, or more people just go echo. They just enter their own small echo chamber quiet. They banish in Ilorin, Yoruba land. Now we are arguing. Are the people of Ilorin Yoruba or Fulani? Are they Nupe or Takpa? Are they Yoruba or what? The argument shall lasted to the point that the fellow Yoruba Ronu xenophobic Yoruba Ronu bigoted animals. They disappeared. This person insulted professor. Confessor. Somebody just said professor no get home training for telling the Onilorin of Ilorin Emir Zulu Gambari. Anyway, that was just an extra. All right. Issue day everywhere. Simon Ekpa don't declare 2 weeks sit at home. In Biafra land. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know that things have actually gone so deeper than what I was being, I'm happy that I tried my best to be so diplomatic about all of this ulabalu, bulaba. Sure you get. But when I now saw a poster and they said, Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile, has declared 2 weeks sit at home. And people must sit at home because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released, like part of the pressure, kind of a protest and all that. But he went further, right? To say, hey, there is actually an Igbo word. You come out, you die. I'm like, Alaye, calm down now. I mean, we talk about what Nigeria has become today. Sure you get. 2 weeks, see. Anyway, he's asking for more. This time around, it is now obvious that even releasing Nnamdi Kanu is likely going to stop somebody like Simon Ekpa anymore. I mean, this guy has been parading himself as a prime minister of a Biafra government. He has issued orders and he has people that seems to be obeying that too. Now, what I found is that the Igbo leaders seems to have been receiving the message too. Are you with me? The whole conflagration, which they will call it, the whole melee in eastern Nigeria, as it has become so far, has prompted them to say, we need to go and talk to Tinubu. He need to do something about the crisis in eastern Nigeria. Now, whatever is going to be the play out and all of that, here is what the Igbo leaders who have kind of probably receiving the message of Ekpa as we speak, and they are no longer, kind of downplaying his utterances and his orders. 2 weeks, something tense is ahead.
Get in touch with the president. The problem in Southeast is too much, it's too big for either Aneze or the governors to solve. The president of Nigeria must accept it as a Nigerian problem and give support to the governors. And of course, one good thing, advantage today, is that there is unity between the governors and Aneze League. As you probably noticed, my emergence was the first time the whole 5 governors all agreed. I'm from Imo State. In Imo State, no other candidate emerged. Nobody opposed me. I came out unopposed. And the 5 governors all supported me. So the unity we have in Igbo land today, we have never had before. And that is a very big advantage to achieving our goal. I don't have any doubt in my mind. Definitely, we don't expect to sort out the matter in one day. Because some of the problems we have, there's criminal problem. Because people who come and kidnap, people who come to kill, they cannot say they are working for Biafra or working for Nnamdi. It's not correct. You know, if somebody kidnapping, you see that they're all criminal. So I think really that the governors in particular, and the members of National Assembly, not only the governors really. Remember, that's why we call them to this meeting. The members of National Assembly will work with the governors and get in touch with the president so that the matter can be actually resolved and once and for all. So I know.
Their attention. And the number one on his appeal has been that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released unconditionally. And it must be done so before the 31st of July. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not released by the 30th of July, from 31st, the Biafrans will sit at home. Now, you know something is that sit at home is meant to be voluntary. Are you with me? It is meant to be voluntary. But there are some of you who don't know that publicly glorifying violence against those who you call disagree, those who disobeyed, the sitting at home, right? So unleashing violence or showing clips and videos of them being violently attacked is in no way positive into any struggle. In fact, it is like playing into the stereotyping of those who have always wanted an excuse to murder Biafrans. You know what I mean? But again, I am not a Biafran. And that's why I keep saying that sometimes when we want to talk about how Biafrans react to the issue of Biafra or even what is still going on today, once in a while, you can put yourself in their shoes. For example, the families who have become victims of the Nigerian state-sponsored profiling, right? So if you want to ask them, what is too much? Or what is too much kind of in the way you react to what you have suffered in Nigeria, kind of, you know what I mean? So definitely, if you have never lost anyone in the course of this Biafra or being an Igbo and all of that, we may not completely be in a position to judge. But I can advise. You know what I mean? Biafran struggle has won global attention. And Biafran struggle that wins the global attention of even, people who are not even Biafrans. They didn't win that global attention because of violence. Okay? And if there is, in fact, anyone that should be feeling the pang, the bite of angry Biafrans in this regard, it should be those who institutionalized this ethnic or institutionalized their racism against the Igbos. I mean, they have the guns. They are those targeting people. Protect the people. All right? Is an advice. But we'll see how that plays out. I'm still very much like if we want peace in Eastern Nigeria, the first step to peace, anything all these politicians are cooking and doing, is to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That's the first step. Afterward, everything else will follow. And I hope Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and even these people who are kind of meeting with Tinubu and the rest of them, they will be able to advise him. Let him go. That's where I stand. Also, I have this tertiary I want to add before we start taking calls. Yeah, here is one. If you are living in a Berigbe Agura in a Korodu, I heard that they say every rainy season is when you always remember that those who are ruling Lagos, they are more evil than the devil that you have fasted and prayed against all your life. They say immediately the rain stops, the rest of you forget. I mean, check this.
Hello, ma. Káàárọ̀ ma. Ẹ wò omi tí à ń fèsì ládùúgbò wa leléyìí o. Inú ẹ̀ abọ́lẹ̀ báyìí inú mọ́tò tá à ń fẹsẹ̀ rìn báyìí. Inú ẹ̀ ni mo wà yìí báyìí pẹ̀lú omi. So kẹ́ bá lè rí báyìí pé làgún phase 2 là ń gbé ń bí báyìí o. Ó rèé báyìí. Òjò tó kàn rárá o láti ìdájí yẹn títí di. Hello, ma.
And this is just like almost the same everywhere. In Lagos or wherever you live too. Okay? So if there are times to ronu on anything at all, I think, they call it reintrospect something. They kind of have that reintrospect of, like what are we doing with our life, concept? What are we doing with our lives? Like, are you that powerless that even when you have a chance to push back, you just can't? Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I won't go make another cup of tea. So I'm going to keep my line open. Okay? If you have anything you want to say or share, it is ideal you pick up the call. Okay? So don't be like that weary that is asking me if I have evidence of violence and all of that. You can live in denial for all you care. All right? You come out, you die. That must be something so encouraging. You will say, Abi, but don't type. Just pick up the phone and call me. Okay? And possibly come and ask me that question. I can give you the answer on the phone. I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea. If you are still here, yes, please like the broadcast, share it if you haven't. And when I get back, I'll take calls. I'll be back. called me T-Man. It is true, Baba. In this Glasgow, if you live around there and you have a chance of drinking tea instead of whiskey, you choose tea because you don't want to be a drunkard, but caffeine as well. Anyway, I think I have a caller on the line. Hello there.
Hello, my good general.
Prince Jejeman, you are my first caller. What
yes,
are the odds?
sir. This is Prince Jejeman representing IPOB for life, Baba.
How are you?
Baba, I'm fine. How are you?
Well, I'm here. I can't complain.
I said make I call it this morning before I begin the hot.
Early, Momo. So you have the floor. I expect probably a lot of people contributing tonight. So yeah, open the floor, please.
Okay, Baba. Yeah, I want to start just 3 things I want to chap sharp. This vessel where these people bomb fire. Nigeria is a crime scene.
Tell them.
Nigeria is a crime scene. You see, these people, they are able to do all this thing. They're able to do all this thing and succeed and get away very easily because they have a cover of one Nigeria. They market Nigeria, have your border, and you have your life secured from these terrorists. Because these people that are ruling Nigeria.
Of crude oil in Ondo State. Imagine what that money will do for the people of Ondo State in this time.
Baba, you see, Maiyegun general, maybe Nigeria is the capital, poverty capital of the world, as we know now. How can the poverty capital of the world tell us that they're born how many 800,000 barrels of crude oil? You know, it's only Nigeria that can in Nigeria that kind of story can fly.
Or maybe
it's
they
only
just
in a country like
ship.
Nigeria.
There's probably no crude oil in it because they want to stage it. You know, say see what we catch you. Who will burn 800,000 crude oil inside water?
Maiyegun, that ship is always, if you notice their MO of burning a ship, is it the one that Buhari burnt before he left? It's the same place, the same position that they burned that one, where fire starts. That's the same point. It's always where they put their small charcoal. You understand? And they will now tell us they'll burn the ship. I get what I'm saying.
Are they with you?
Maiyegun, is in Nigeria is an abomination. It's a crime scene. You see, Baba, that one and then they deceive themselves. They don't say we only we Biafra, they can't tell us all those nonsense.
No.
That one don't pass. You see, Maiyegun, there was a man that called you yesterday. He says a political scientist. I wasn't opportune to be in that program yesterday, but I watched it this afternoon.
Right.
You see, he was saying something. He said a lot of things, you know, about hopeless also Dimba, and it also talks about Rufai. You know, Rufai is the only most respected journalist as far as I'm concerned. If I would say he's the only one I will pick in Nigeria. For now, we don't know if he will change tomorrow. You understand? If found Rufai for 40, you know, which is very, very wrong. It's very, very wrong. That is one. Then two, he now progressed to talk about Simon Ekpa. He says he's overambitious. What is overambitious? Why is somebody being overambitious? You understand? If ambition? You are there's nothing wrong with ambition, but he says somebody is overambition, that means is getting out of hand. You understand? Now you know that every time you put he said yesterday that if anytime someone Ekpa says the word, then other people will go and carry the action and commit and kill people. They will not say he's the one. You know? So if one continue to do a thing repeatedly, what is that? What is it called? Something that you know that when you do all the time, it causes death, it causes problem, it causes calamity, and that thing you continue to do it. What is the meaning of that? That's what we are talking about. You see, this what he brings into the struggle of Biafra since Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped is pure confusion. Pure confusion. You understand? If not that IPOB has a structure which is firm, he would have destroyed the struggle. The struggle would have been a childish. They went to the extent of exposing a woman a vagina. That was where they started all their propaganda and everything. They went for that to say they are giving 150 days, Biafra will come. 150 days came, Biafra was not there, but people continue to follow. You understand? He went further to say that he's going to put some people faces on money, including him, Biafran currency. That one came and gone. They didn't see anyone. They continue to follow. He went ahead to tell them that he's going to issue them Biafran passport, Biafran ID card. All those one came with the propaganda in it. People shouted. Even the one they brought as a sample, they said they're going to issue people European, is it the European Union ID card? Somebody were wearing face cap inside the ID card. That one, they quarreled over it. Somebody advised them it was quarreled. At the end of the day, that scandal or scam, it ended. No, people were not still asking questions. You understand? What we can see is that there are people behind, there are people that is behind that are shouting, and most especially is women that is he has been able to convince in this thing. And you know, when women are in a thing, shout talking, the noise will be too much. I get it. People will think that there's something happening there, you know, because our people are being easily carried away by emotion. They want Biafra today. As I am in a Biafra struggle, I may not be present to see Biafra, but my children will see it. And I can hand it over to my children. All we want is that the struggle will continue until Biafra is restored. You understand? That is the vision of the Biafra, not that he has a particular day.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, my good general.
You've dropped your own
Thank you.
And I bet a lot of people will drop theirs too. Yeah? Thank you. Prince
Respect. Thank you.
So I have another caller on the line. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, brilliant.
Can you hear me?
To mute the broadcast so that you and I can talk on the phone. Is that right?
I just did that now, so I can be able to talk to you. Can you hear me very well now?
I can hear you loud and clear. Please, all of us can.
Thank you very much. Is he fine? I was the caller here.
You're fine. How you doing?
Yeah, it's me. I'm very good. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, I'll be very quick. I will touch on the Tompolo vessel and the magic they did there. You see,
yes, sir.
This is just like there is no country on earth that something as big as ship, a vessel, enters that territory and leaves that territory without the navy or the military being 100% aware of what it came to do or what it's living with. That story is not, it can never happen in any other place. So unless the government is part of the process, which everybody knows is what is happening. So everybody knows is what happens there. So what you see them doing now is probably somebody have seen that crude oil leaving and the person is not supposed to have seen it. Right. So what they just did now, so that's what happened. So what they now need to do is to call the camera people. Now, yes, everybody have seen that this is what happened. Transload the thing leaves, then probably get one empty ship or get that same ship, set it on fire. Tinubu wins, the security agencies wins, Tompolo himself wins, everybody wins.
The oil bunkers, the oil thieves also win. It's a win-win situation. Wow.
So the only people that didn't win is Nigeria people. And then those that support APC now will now get little win. Because if you go to Facebook now, they are bragging that everything is now water, everybody is doing what they have to do. That is on one layer. On the second layer is the election rerun or anything.
Yeah,
that election rerun cost everybody money. So to rerun anything in Nigeria now is going to cost everybody the money that they don't have. So we don't have money, we are broke. So instead of them saying anything rerun, which Tinubu will win comfortably, that one is the one I am sure he will win. A man that came from outside and his only manifesto is that it is his turn, and he later found a way to get to Asorok. So if you now from Asorok, as good as the result will be announced either in his house or in Asorok. So there's no. So if they are not going to give P2B the election, they should just go ahead and give it to Tinubu straight. There's no need for any rerun or any other thing that will
wasting
work.
people's time and life again.
There's no need for any of those things again. Thank you very much, Maiyegun.
Bless you. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Let's take it further. Did I just lose that? I have a caller that was coming through but dropped. So I think I managed to get another one back. Hello there.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Maiyegun.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yeah, fine. Let me just go straight to the point. This is Frank speaking with you.
Frank,
and based here in,
Go on.
Yeah, I'm in Manchester here. Number one, please, I beg you in the name of God, don't let the two factions use your platform as a way of trading words about who is the main Biafra or not.
Oh,
you understand
okay,
me?
okay. You are seeing comments. I'll tell you something when you finish, okay? But please continue. I'll tell you something.
No, they can dig it out on comment section, no problem.
Of course.
But to call in, counter each other on who is legitimate, that is not what we know Maiyegun for, number one.
That's right.
Then number two, in my own opinion, I might be right or wrong. But I think I follow what is happening, and I always go to Nigeria. I don't think it's up to 1% of Nigerians living in Nigeria that we sit down on internet and begin to watch live broadcasts of 30 minutes, 1 hour. I doubt. Number one, the money issue, the data constraint, the light. At last, one thing I will put into consideration, the time. When I travel to Nigeria, I'm not able to watch live. I always watch replay because most time, I know there's a day where I'm not opportune to sit down and begin to watch the live. So I did my own survey and I did everything possible to understand. And I know that people where they enjoy Maiyegun, 99%, Europe, America, Africa countries, this thing. And we have many platforms we are watching.
That's right.
Not Maiyegun alone. Because of boredom. Are you getting me?
I'm with you.
Even when I did if I tell you that I made thousands of pounds through watching Maiyegun, and let me explain to you now.
Yes, sir.
When I finished my first job, I work with JD Sport as an instructor.
Bless you.
So when I finish by 6:30, by 7, I'm at home. When I get home by 7, I need to go to another job, part-time job, for about 8 hours. The only thing that gives me the strength to go is when I start listening to Maiyegun. Maybe I start to work 7:38, and I start listening to Maiyegun from 8. By the time I finish listening to Maiyegun, which is really entertaining, educative, and informative, use all the tips to analyze everything. At the end, it remains like 30 minutes or 1 hour for me to close and go home.
The night is covered.
So what am I? It is covered. Are you getting me?
I'm with you.
The same thing with some other people. Now, why did I go this long journey? The only thing that made me to remember Kano, it is when I hear it from this thing, your station, your broadcast, or through all the people working for Simon or the people Simon is working with, or Simon himself. And the only thing I pick for me, I don't support violence and I don't support any of the killing. But if not be this guy where they make the noise well, I don't think the elders will move today to go to see Tinubu in
like
the presidential palace.
I mean, I mean, what do you call it? It's getting their attention. We can give that to him and all that. I agree.
Exactly. What may I expected the other factions and whosoever is involved to do is let them look for a way to settle themselves. And they will be able to curb all these menace. But for them to just keep quiet and think Nigeria will listen. And to my brothers, because my friend from JD, about 5 of them, they are on holiday now in Enugu. They told me that on Monday, throughout this sit at home, we chat every day. They are at home. The only reason they are at home is they don't want anybody to use them as collateral damage. Whether na EPA they do amu, whether na federal government they do amu, whether na or no government they do amu, but they sit down for their house, so that nobody will use them as an excuse, deny and obey. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah,
one love,
and also, Mr. Frank, for the sake of what you said, okay, you raised a very valid point. Now, controversy where people have to kind of say what they feel like and when they feel like is not alien to MaiyegunsDiary Politico. Sure you get. I have become a subject of conversation on different platforms simply because people decided to hear their view about certain people and certain things on this platform. So I'm not new to that. But there's something I also want to quickly point out here, which is to say there was no any direct intention of condemning EPA and his what have you. No. Or you know on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, Baba, for example.
No, you're not getting me.
No,
I'm not sorry.
No, there's one thing I want to say.
1 minute.
If you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Yes,
go ahead.
So
go ahead.
is that you know as yourself when you call in, I don't know what you want to say. And I have one tradition. I will let you speak your mind. Even if it goes so kind of against what, you know what I mean, like my position as well. Because at that point, it's just for you to hear yours. And I keep reminding people, when you say something, other people have right to as well, as long as they can call in. And that's what kind of make this interesting. But apart from that, there's no way we can rule out those clashes because we don't control them. You understand, sir?
You are right.
But we can do our best to keep, like you just did, encourage everybody to sheath their sword, okay? Because to those who are concerned, they feel like EPA might not be doing all of this. But every time he makes those pronouncements, these evil people and the rest, they come out and do what they are doing, right? Now, they now pin it on them. Now, if that has been the case, it could be a time to have a retrospect and thinking, I say, okay, could we deploy it in another way? That these guys won't be able, you know what I mean? But nevertheless, like I said, none of us controls this. Just views.
You are right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
Frank.
So in 10 seconds.
Yes, sir.
I'm not saying you are the one. I never said you talked about it. No. Okay, Monico might go about
our beat to my control, Mr. Frank. You know, because when you pick up your phone, if you call now, you say, down Namdi Kanu, let me tell you something. I will have to just say, hey, you know what? I'll first let you finish. Then I'll try and say one or two things to make you be like, you might have said what you said, though, or general, you know what I mean? Because we don't control what people say. But I like the fact that a lot of us come on to offer those advices. It's important. We shield our swords. You know what I mean? Thank you, sir. Mr. Frank, you have a good one, sir.
Good night.
I am going to take another call. Like I said, you know, when we have to, Maiyegun, when I want to speak, I just speak my mind. Like, I don't, you know, I don't care. I mean, I don't really care. But I don't care how somebody sees them. I stand by everything I say anywhere, anytime, like normal. But I have no control over what you will say. I just pick my calls randomly. The only thing I haven't faced on my platform is that for somebody to call in and start abusing me. I haven't had that. But I've had people who have come in here and said things that are totally opposite of where we kind of are positioned, but they still had the chance of sharing them. Like this, my caller. Hello there.
Hello, Mr. Maiyegun.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm all right. Thank you for your platform. I've been your follower for over 3 years now.
Thank you.
And I love your platform because you give us the opportunity to air our views. And please maintain that. We really love that. So
we will keep that all the time. And then, like I said, we can disagree respectfully and all of that, and we'll still hear ourselves. The purpose is to, and the main point is for us to actually hear ourselves, even if we are not going to agree with ourselves. Maybe when we are hearing ourselves, we'll build a bond of understanding ourselves. Baba?
Exactly. So, Maiyegun, the reason I'm calling today is for us to remind Nigerians that the deaths going on in states like Benue, things are going on in Benue, people are dying. Nigerians, I don't know if we have short-term memory. We just move on easily. There is no justice for people that died in NSAS. And you don't blame the Igbos for setting up ESN, because this is exactly what would have happened if they didn't set up their own security. Imagine if they could do this to the people that fought side by side with the government during the dark days of the Civil War.
I know.
Then imagine what they would do if they had the opportunity. So people calling in and saying, Samanekpa this, Samanekpa that. What have you done? Let me tell you the truth.
Tell us.
Nigeria was built on a slavery foundation. We were made, it's like a marriage. Nobody goes into marriage without like loving each other. Where there is no love, we cannot grow. This is the truth. It's not hard.
You can't go into a relationship without consent. And I don't think they had a consent on all of this at all.
Exactly. So we keep on forcing these things down our throats. The fact that the Western world don't want us to break means if we break, we will be better off. Let's start doing the opposite of what they want us to do. We are doing one Nigeria. We don't love each other. So why are we lying to ourselves? This would only cost our great-grandchildren, our unborn children will suffer for our stupidity. At some point, we're selling each other for broomstick matches. If you wake those people up now, they will feel stupid doing that. We're selling our brothers and sisters for umbrella, wine. Now they've brought phone and iPhone. We keep on doing the same thing because we are yet to unlock our innovative brain. Let us break. The advantage of breaking is it will create competition, a healthy competition. As of today, we all have one report card. So as Nigeria is failing, we can just say all of us are the ones. It's all of us that is making it. But when we break, we will know the real tribe or the real region that is really failing that nation. Let us break. It's going to create a healthy competition. A referendum is not a crime.
It's not.
Britain got their referendum. So let's stop pretending to ourselves. All the pastors, they are not speaking, but Fela was speaking, and we still give our money to those pastors. So, Maiyegun, please, we love you.
I know.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you so much for calling in as well, right? You have a good one, Baba. Nice one, eh? Thank you. So, the line is still very much the same. It's currently scrolling on your screen, okay? You can call in and speak your mind too, all right? But just do it in a way that you don't want to kind of intentionally, right? Just provoke, I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to even tell you what to do. Do your thing. But just remember, when you say something, other people have the same tune. They will pick up their phones and they'll call in too.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Baba, how you doing, sir?
Maiyegun. Fine, good evening, Maiyegun.
Good evening to you.
Yeah, I want to say one or two things because Prince JJ just brought my attention back to that ship. First of all, I don't know if that ship was made with plasticine. You know what you call plasticine?
No idea,
to mold things in primary school days. There's something like mud we use in school those days in primary school. We call it plasticine. You can destroy it. You can use it to
remember now. Yeah.
That ship is not plasticine, so somebody can squeeze it and put in his pocket, and steal the crude oil for 12 years without nobody seeing it. That thing is a stadium now. That ship is two times stadium or 3 times stadium.
In most cases, in
so
times,
one,
yeah.
So they are lying. So they know who owns the ship and what the ship is doing on that sea. Then if you watch the ship very well, where they put the fire on, is the same position, the first one, when they gave Tompolo that first contract. Go and watch it. The same pattern of fire. The same pattern of, the same position.
Same spots.
Like JJ Man said, the people are the ones suffering it, not the one that did it, not the leaders. Then let me come to IPOB and issue of Simon Eba. Like the guy that called and said we should not use this platform for the two factions to be dragging like
trashing themselves here.
No,
I hope
nobody. Nobody's planning this conversation. We are just talking about our own opinion. Not everybody cannot see the same thing in the same dimension.
No.
We can see. I can see 6 as 9. You see it as 9. I say 6. You say it's 9 because it depends on where you're standing to look at it. Issue of this violence sit at home. He said he went to Nigeria. He observed that nobody's taking their time to watch internet. People are watching internet, but I don't support this type of sit at home. Like you said, Nnamdi Kanu did not use this kind of violence sit at home to get the attention of the world and sympathy of so many people. Before they started talking about the Biafra issue, you know, even on his broadcast, there's a broadcast he said, sit at home cannot get you freedom. You can only get freedom by voting or by gun, war. You can get your freedom. But sit at home cannot get you freedom. And he also called the people that want to sit at home criminals, you know. And when Nnamdi Kanu was there, when he want to sit at home, it's only on remembrance, that the Biafra's remembrance one day, because he knows that people are suffering. But this issue of sit at home 2 weeks, 1 week, how can people feed? How can people feed? You know, this thing they say when 2 elephants fight is the grass that suffers this. It's reality. I can see it now. If you like sit at home 1 year, those people that are there will not release Nnamdi Kanu if they decide to. Because since court has released Nnamdi Kanu, they now left the set and release the thief. They want to kill Jesus and leave criminals. See, and the Barnabas is Abakare, murderer, organ harvester. You know. So he did a lot of things, but they freed him with 50 million naira bail. What is 50 million naira bail? You know. So the injustice is too much, but you will not allow your people to suffer so much. There's a lot of propaganda that guy had brought to this struggle. He bought warship, he bought warplane, he bought guns, he do this. So people should begin to listen to him and understand where he's going. I believe, for me, my own opinion, I can be corrected. I believe somebody is using that guy to set that side on fire so that they will see the reason to keep Nnamdi Kanu there. Understand me? Because anytime they begin to talk about seriousness into case of Nnamdi Kanu, you will see so much violence inside coming from him. You see? So, but now, for me, I'm advising him. I love anything that will happen so that Nnamdi Kanu will come out. Because the day I heard that Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, Maiyegun, I could not eat. All my body was shaking. So, but if you want to take that violence, it was a terrible
day that I was praying the news was fake news. That was the first time I actually prayed that the news was fake news.
Yes. So if
I couldn't post it.
So if you want to create awareness so that the elders of the Igbo land and the politicians of Igbo land will get the attention, why not go? I want to hear that one commissioner was kidnapped by so person. One commissioner is down, or or one governor is there from Igbo land. It will make them to rush, not going to market, so putting people, see the faces of people that are suffering this thing. which Nnamdi Kanu I know, although he's very aggressive in some things, but he cannot do it. He will not, as hard his heart is also like water. Right. He cannot see people suffering and keep on doing that thing. So that guy should tell us who is sponsoring him. That's my own opinion. Okay. Forget about people cheering him or doing this. So that's what I want to put. But finally, Nigeria is a crime scene. Divide Nigeria and save lives. Thank you, Maiyegun.
God bless you, sir. Like I said, it is an open forum that, again, I can't say what you're going to say, and I'm ready to listen to all you have to say, but just say them respectfully enough that other people, because whatever you say, others will respond as well. Here is another caller.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello, brother. Good evening. Maiyegun.
Baba.
First time caller, and
we did tell me your name, sir. Is that all right?
My name is Silas, and I'm calling from Glasgow City.
Hey, Silas, did you say?
Yeah, Silas. Yeah,
that's a unique name. Oh, I've got a friend in Glasgow, Silas in Glasgow. That's class.
Yeah, we met sometime. We met in person also some time ago, somewhere in Kashmir.
Oh, did we?
Quick one. Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So,
brilliant, Baba. Go on.
My take on this whole issue is that as Black people, we've got big issues on our hand, and I don't see it ending anytime soon, whether with Nnamdi Kanu or not. You know, to start with, if you look at the configuration of the Black race, you really understand that we've been balkanized centuries ago. Like if we come to the southwest in Nigeria now, we have the Yoruba race in some part of southwest in Nigeria. If you go to Cotonou, we have the Yoruba race there. If you go to Togo, we have the same race there. You know? And these people in Cotonou, they speak French. In Nigeria, they speak English. You know, I've had an opportunity of traveling some time ago for a holiday, and while I was on board, I met this very beautiful Black girl, and you know, something told me, you know, this could be a Nigerian. So I, you know, established a conversation with her. But surprisingly, she speaks only French, and I speak English. Well, to my greatest surprise, we have a third party who happened to be a white man, and he started interpreting. You know what we understand. So we now have I had a second thought of it. Myself and a Black woman, a sister, you know, supposed sister, you know, naturally, but this is a white man now who is interpreting between, you know, myself and her. Whatever I say, the white man interprets to the Black girl. Whatever she says, the white man interprets to me. So you understand. So this white man now could, as a matter of fact, you know, twist the content of our discussion and tell whatever to both of us. And you know, so I felt depressed from that moment. I'm like, who did this to Black man? You understand? So this starts only in Nigeria. You know, so with or without Nnamdi Kanu, even if they kill him today, the problem will still linger. You understand? We have 1 billion and 1 Nnamdi Kanus that are still at the background coming up.
Our problem is even deeper than what people can think about right now.
You understand? So it's not ending anytime soon. So at the time, you know, and this is a fraud from the West, and they are so happy because when we're divided against ourselves, and they find an opportunity to come in and further deplete us, further exploit us, you know. But as Black people, I want to believe most of us understand why. But for our selfish interest, we deliberately turn deaf ears to this. If you go to the northeast today, you have a lot of Chinese people exploiting them illegally, mining their gold, mining all the resources illegally. And the only reason why this can stop is when the Hausa man and the Fulani man and the Yoruba man come together and agree that enough is enough. But as long as we are fighting ourselves, this rape of our land will continue. You know what they say? You know what they say?
There's this African proverb that says that when two brothers fight to death, it is a stranger that will inherit their land and everything. You know that? So that's exactly what came to my mind when you were giving us that narrative of your experience on your last holiday where you saw a beautiful, supposedly that looked like Yoruba or like, normal, and then yourself, and you couldn't even communicate because she's from where they speak French in that same, neighboring country there, and you are from where they speak English, and you couldn't communicate. And here we are. We lost everything just for that reason alone. We lost our language, and we lost everything since then.
We lost everything. We lost everything. I'm telling you, and I don't see us redeeming it anytime soon. But my greatest happiness, my greatest joy, is the emergence of Tinubu as Nigerian president. That is my greatest joy. Because if we don't go down the drain, if Nigeria does not scatter, we will not have a solution. So it takes a man who is part of the system, who has stolen enough from the country to kill the country. And nobody can do that better than this drug lord, this coconut head man, Tinubu now. He is the one, he's an undertaker. He has come to bury Nigeria. Nigeria is dead long ago. Buhari killed it, 100%.
Killed Nigeria, no doubt. And the purpose, the actions that killed Nigeria is still not ending with these guys. They're still on the same throttle.
So Tinubu is coming as an undertaker to bury Nigeria. So once that is achieved, then probably we can open a new chapter and have a discussion around whether we will be together as a nation or not. But my biggest, I'm displayed because together we are meant to be stronger. But if we go in our separate ways, only God knows what's going to happen. We have Tinubu, the lack of Tinubu also in the southeast. We have the lack of Tinubu in the southwest. We have the lack of Tinubu in the north. These people are not dying soon. They don't die like that.
No.
And they've got the system locked down. They've got the state resources. They've got the political power. They've got the guns. So they can intimidate and everything. The only thing we have to do, sincerely speaking, is probably just keep praying to God.
We should just wait with what they are doing already. Like, let the snake kill itself. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Self-destruct.
That's what's going to happen eventually. It's going to be a case of self-destruction. So I'll just appeal to everyone to just keep their calm. Don't. Yes, people are dying. People are dying. We cannot rule out that fact. And more people will still die because this thing is not ending anytime soon. As a matter of fact, more and more will go down with them. But the fact remains this: those that are supporting them, I pray that their eyes should open soon because they will die with their masters. They will die with their slave masters also. Because we are all in this together. Poverty does not look right.
Thank you, sir.
Poverty does not look right. The Christian is crying, Muslim is crying. Hausa is suffering, Igbos are suffering, the Yorubas are suffering. They don't suffer. So it's just a pity for Africa. I'm telling you, it's a big pity for us. So thank you, my brother. Thank you so much for
the time. I know. Thank you very much, and you have a wonderful evening. Okay. So I'll go to the next caller. I hear. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic. Good to see you.
It's a pleasure.
I always follow you up. The guy that introduced me to you, your channel to me, that was 2014.
Wow.
I heard the bad news. The guy died today. I'm not happy at all. It's because of this Nigeria things.
So sorry about that. That's sad. Very sorry.
I've not got myself since today. My very good friend. But apart from that, what I want to talk about is this RPOB issue.
Okay.
You see, there was a guy that talked before this guy talked now, talking about Samuel, this, Samuel, that. One, that guy, for me, is one of the people that are working with US. These people sold Mazina the Kanu. They were the people that sold him. They give information out to catch him. When the Kanu when he was kept in Kenya for those days, they were aware he was there. They never talk. They know. And when they wanted the Kanu to die there. They wanted to kill him there. So that nobody just said they don't see Nnamdi Kanu.
So it just happened like that, and that's it.
Yes.
Wow.
Because Nnamdi Kanu is not somebody that you can kill. That is why he survived. They now brought him to Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu ordered the first sit at home.
he ordered the first sit at home. That guy talking now can never talk about sit at home. Nnamdi Kanu was the one that ordered the first sit at home.
Right.
Go and listen to Nnamdi Kanu, the last program he made before the kidnapping.
Right.
So these people, they collected money from Nigerian government to stop sit at home. Okay, now if Samuel Ekpa is not there, nobody will know about Nnamdi Kanu again. It will just be forget there. It's because of Samuel Ekpa pushing. That's why people are saying about Nnamdi Kanu. They go to Finland to protest against Samuel Ekpa. Did you see Nnamdi Kanu picture there?
Sorry.
The DOS
they did what?
The DOS organized people. They went to Finland to go and protest against Samuel Ekpa. Did you see?
So a lot is actually going on than some of the things I'm aware of. Like it has gotten to like face-to-face stuff right now, right? Is that what you're saying?
This week. Is it this week or last week? They were in Finland. They were in Finland. Did you see any picture of Nnamdi Kanu? Did you hear they talk about Nnamdi Kanu? They never talk about Nnamdi Kanu. They never carry any picture of Nnamdi Kanu. All they do is Samuel Ekpa. They just want to keep Biafra so that Nnamdi Kanu will be forgotten and he died there. So that guy that is talking is one of them. He's talking rubbish. He did sit at home that to crush the economy. That's what
what do you think? What do you think about this side? Other people are saying about you know Nigeria right now, yeah? And you know that there are people there. They have to kill what they eat. Sure, you get. So when people feel concerned about a long stretch at first, and then we have been seeing videos of guys who we believe are imposters in a way, like doing all this crime and placing it on IPOB. So some people feel like if that continues to happen, right, every time he makes pronouncement, is it not all right to re-strategize if people are being subjected? Their concern can be overruled when in this case too. What do you think?
There is nothing they can do that to sit at home because one, that is why he's telling them, sit at home because he knows if you go out, Nigerian government will send people to come and kill you. That's why I'm telling them, sit at home. This is the work of Nigerian government. They are paying people to do all these things.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying that the concern of people that, you know what I mean, like when people don't go out, right, is tough. You know that, okay? Now, we know that every time he says sit at home, there are some of these sponsored people. I have said that many times myself, okay? I've seen few of them. But, if making those pronouncements brings out all these people to hurt those who disobey and they then place it on them, isn't that playing into their hands? That's what people are concerned about, by the way, right? Then the people, Nigerians, right, like everyone else, if you don't go out, here you get, you know the chop. So would the people get a chance of having something that would be like, okay, go and stockpile, go and do this and that. Like those chances are not there. And those are concerns too. Here you get. But
that's not what you are saying.
But sacrifice you say, Abi.
It's just one day in a week.
It is one day.
Let me tell you, Maiyegun. Yeah, it's just one day in a week. Let me tell you, are you aware now a pound is 120 naira now? A pound is 120 naira.
1,020 naira. Is that?
Yeah, 1,020 naira is a pound now. You understand? That means Nigerian money cannot buy anything. Even pure water. Nigerian money no fit buy pure water. You got what I'm saying? So if you look at it this way, this suffering we are suffering, Nigerian government purposely designed this suffering for people to suffer.
No doubt.
You get what I'm saying? So the only way for solution to Nigeria is disintegration. Biafra have to go. Fulani go on their own and the Oduwa Republic go on their own. This is the only solution. Without this, then it will become worse and worse. That's what Nigeria is going to be. There is no solution for Nigeria.
There's no.
They say Dangote is Dangote. Is it Dangote money? It's Nigeria money. It's not Dangote that hold those money. It's Nigeria money. They are giving our money to Dangote. People are suffering. People need to join Samuel Ekpa. If we join in the Kanu to fight, we forgot all these things that are happening. They cannot talk them
somehow.
He said everything. Everybody in the Kanu is doing that. But look, that is the same thing they're talking about Samuel Ekpa now. They want to feel out because they want to go.
And that's why I'm actually like somehow, when I said I was being diplomatic, is that we have seen it before. We have seen how they drive emotion to make people hate Nnamdi Kanu. A lot of people It took them time later to come back and say, oh, it's because I never really listened to him. We know their media do that all the time. Sure, you get. And then that's why I said that when we have a time to have a re-introspect, whatever they call it, that is time to just sit back and be like, okay, you know what? So this whole thing seems to be like, playing into the hands or not, yeah? But like you said, whether we like it or not, whether it comes earlier or later, right? Wherever it will be, it's going to be eventually. Nigeria can be saved. I agree with you on that. Okay? And thank you for also kind of stopping by. We still hope people will shift their sword and then don't make it too obvious that indeed there are factions. Well, I've heard from other people and I have others too. Let me take this.
One more.
Hey, Osita. How are you?
Yes, my brother.
Brilliant. You will never miss this. I kind of envisaged that. But we are talking about diplomacy here. But if like everybody will still eventually lose it tonight. I'll do my best to keep all of you to manage as the purpose is.
The thing that people don't understand. This is like a parliament. You say what you want to say. You are not fighting with anybody.
At least.
If you want to pick up a quarrel with somebody, then you have to look for the person where he is so that you can now go and fight the person. But
which is
telling somebody here, yes, it's meaningless. Telling somebody here you are idiot, you are not intelligent, it doesn't make any sense. So what I'm going to say, I was one of the people that actually said something about Simon Ekpa the first day you did this. That was about 2-3 days ago, right?
It was yesterday.
Yes. The thing that we are talking about, let me speak for myself. I'm not saying that he's not fighting his own part of the fight. Everybody's just got to fight in their own different ways. But what we are saying is that let it be so meaningful that, like there was one statement he made. I do watch his program before, you understand? But when he made that statement, he said in Igbo language, Ipota, Ewolo, you wouldn't, it doesn't work well with me. If it worked with any other person, you can't tell people that if they come out, they will die. Then it will look as if you are the one doing it. But I know he is not. So, but what I am saying, instead of you should escalate the killing, why don't we look for another means of doing this thing? There's a difference between you confront somebody and say, oh, we want to fight war. The ones that will support you. And even when you come out, it's not everybody that was in that you will tell that, oh, we want to go into war. Not everybody that will accept. But the ones that will support you will know they have a reason of supporting you. Do you understand? So what we are saying is that, oh, it's not as if nobody's condemning Simon Ekpa, but we want him to mellow things down in such a way that the government is not going to take advantage of what he is fighting for to kill the people. The government don't care about these people.
Well, people think that mellowing down, Osita, they say mellowing down is not going to mount pressure on those who are holding Nnamdi Kanu illegally, and being the only way he believes he knows, it seems to be getting their attention now. All right?
No, it's not as if it's not. Look, it's not as if the seat at home is not getting their attention.
Right.
One of the major reasons of the politicians not liking the seat at home, they generate revenues on that Monday, right? Now you deprive them of that revenue. But what we are saying is that when you now kill your people, you give them the opportunity to kill your own people. If they finish killing everybody, who are we fighting for? He's fighting that cause. Every other person is fighting that cause. You think about it. So if you're doing that, we know. See, when you do all these things this way, you look at the economic side of the society where you are talking about. People are generally hungry. But if you have to do it, you let people know that this is what they are doing. If he comes out and tell the whole world that I am not responsible to this killing, people will understand it. Do you understand that I am not responsible to this killing?
Well, I think he's done that already. I think he said he's not. That's why some people who heard him and listened to him said, it's the government behind it. They are the ones.
The government.
So he kept telling people that when I tell you to sit at home, I'm only protecting you because you know, the government will come out and they will attack you and blame it on me. It's complicated, right?
You see, I have my little circle where I live, understand, where we discuss all these things all the time.
Right.
It is because if you go search the videos, you will going to see the video where he said Ipota Ewulo. You don't do that. That is what I am saying. I am not lying.
It's like
People
a
should go
dog
and look
whistle.
at
It's like a dog whistle.
It's a dog whistle.
You know what I mean?
So
Like
what we want him to do is that he will have to look for a means by which we will convince people that I am not responsible to this thing that is, and put the blame on the people that the
right
blame should be upon.
Even expose
the
them,
right
you know,
people.
for example, like
And expose them.
Namdekanu would do.
Exactly. The people who are behind this thing, everybody knows. It's the governors, it's the politicians. So I just want people to understand that nobody is condemning Simon Ekpa. Nobody, even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu endorsed him. So nobody is condemning him, but he should look for a way to bring out this message so that the people will have confidence in him that he is not entangled with all this nonsense. That is my take.
So
thank you very much, my
Osita.
brother.
I would listen to others too who are also going to add theirs. Here, I have another caller. Here. Hello there.
That is my take. So thank you very much, my brother.
Hello, can you hear me? Since this person is listening to the broadcast rather than their phone. Can you hear me? Okay. I'll take you out of there. And then we can take the calls of those who are ready. I have one. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hey, hello. Is that Salman?
Oh, so I sound like a guy.
No, you sounded like you know. Is that you know? How you doing?
I'm fine, Maiyegun.
Sorry about that, by the way. So yeah, please.
No, it's okay. It's Charm.
Charm, yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, it's just a quick one. Remember I called a couple of days ago, and I sent you the write-up and I sent you a video as well.
Well, I think
because I wasn't able
I kind of lost it on the old number. I'm not sure, but yeah, we did talk about you know, this foreign war reviews sponsoring Nigerian politicians to sponsor some bills that we should all kind of pay attention to. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yeah, that's the one I was referring to.
You want to give it a follow-up?
It's worth the read, you know, really. I just wanted to let you know that I did send it to you, but it was on this new number.
This one, okay.
not the old one, because I tried repeatedly to share it on the chat group, and it just wasn't working. So
got it. But go on, please. Yeah.
Okay, so I think maybe there's some restrictions or some chat guidelines. I don't know what it is really, but I wasn't able to share it to.
It was a link. I mean, sorry, it's a link. That's the reason why I had to you know, copy and go and watch it elsewhere. You know, it wasn't like a video. I think it's a link. I've seen it. I have.
Okay, so just two things really. I've listened to Prince Man and a couple of other people, and just now Osito, I think, talking about Simon Ekpa or IPOB and all of that. I think the only thing I want to add to this conversation really is that sometimes I feel like we have a problem of leadership, whether it's the people fighting for separation or our current, you know, government, and then we have a problem of leadership. Now, I don't fully understand Simon Ekpa's how I put his input. I can't speak on it authoritatively, you know, but I feel like if you're going to I feel like if you're going to lead the people, you carry them along. You don't drag them, which is part of the problem I feel like we have in our country, right? There's always an element of you don't carry people along. You just drag them to wherever you think that, you know, we want you to go to, you know. But you can't love my life more than I who own the life. If you understand where I'm coming from, right? Now, if this strategy of, you know, announcing the sit at homes and everything is costing people's lives, it's costing people their daily bread and things like that, then their livelihood, then it's time to take a step back and rethink the strategy
and reflect,
and employ and reflect exactly, and reflect and come up with a different. I mean, we're all intelligent people, right? And we can't do it on our own. So you can employ, you can talk to other people and see about how we can do things differently. Okay, because again, in trying to fight for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, the emancipation of the Igbos and things like that, you cannot say that. That's what I keep saying. How many lives will be okay? How many lives lost will be enough? Do you understand where I'm coming from?
How many lives will be enough?
Enough, exactly, in that fight. So, and then secondly, okay, two more things real quickly. The first one is, in the video I sent to you, at the tail end of that video, the way the British described the amalgamation of Nigeria was to say this, that the old northern, how will I put it, an old northern
region
man
or province.
No.
Man.
Okay. They called it. They put it as a man. They didn't spell it out, right? They said an old northern man has married a young southern bride, right? Now, this southern bride is the south. The old man is the north. And that north is not just houses. We're talking about the Fulanis. And I want people to understand that, you see, the Fulanis and the West, and the British in particular, have always worked in tandem because they are the people that they can use the most out of these other two tribes in the South. Thirdly, I just want to say this finally, because history belongs to the person who is victorious, not to the vanquished. And if you understand his story, history is his story. So his story is the story of, yes, is the story of the victor. Now, a lot of people talk about how different we are. We are all different people, and this and that and the other. Maiyegun, I can tell you that I have seen maps of Africa, maps of West Africa, of the whole of Africa, dated back to the 14th century, right? Where they have detailed exactly who and who live in these regions. We are one people. The people who are telling you this story about us being different and separate, remember, these stories don't come from us. It comes from them.
They wrote them.
Not us. They wrote it. So you also have to be careful about where you're getting your information from, who is giving you your information. Even all of this, the way we are all, the regions and everything, don't come from us. It comes from them. So it's easy for people to say, oh yeah, we're all different. You have to remember, Africa existed before Oyibo came into this place. We always live together. Yes, I'm not saying that we didn't have wars. They too have wars. The Irish fought the Welsh fought the English.
They even had slavery too. A lot of people don't know that
they
Oyibo also enslaved Oyibo.
Yes.
Irish people were slaves at some point. Like there are slaves.
Yes.
So it was
Irish
like everybody was
slaves.
just robbing everybody. So when they came to Africa to rob us in Africa, right? They've already robbed themselves as much as possible around this part of the world. Historically.
They've dealt with themselves. Even some Irish people compare themselves to can align, not say compare, align themselves with the Black experience because they felt that they've been slaves too.
Yes,
they were taken as slaves
like
as well.
Proper slaves, so they were sold as slaves, like slaves.
They were
sold, slaves.
They were sold as slaves as well, and there were even times where they used to write "No Irish, no Blacks."
Bless you.
So it was that bad.
No Irish, again, no dog, no
Irish,
Blacks.
No, exactly, right. So the point I'm trying to make is, all this, I still maps, and I wish Africa, where we were all one region, where we're all one people, and a certain type of people. So you have to be, when they say, oh yeah, we're all different, we're all this, all this. No.
Maybe not that different, yeah. Thank you so much.
Exactly. All right, let me go.
Again. I am going to go and watch that video so that when next you call in, you and I can begin to share piece from it, from the clip. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Maiyegun.
Yes, ma'am. You have a good one. So I think I have another call on the line. Hopefully. Hello there.
Yeah, hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yes, my name is, I'm good. My name is Williams. I'm calling from Lagos.
Oriental.
Yeah,
is that what you say?
No, Williams.
Oh, Williams.
I'm calling from Lagos.
I was like, that was kind of a little Oriental. I've never heard that before. But Williams is also class. How you doing, Baba?
Thank you. I'm good. I wish to thank you so much for all you've been doing, and I've been following your program. Actually, this is my first time of calling in. And you see, talking about, I've listened to several people talk about Simon Ekpa and what he's doing. You see, I keep telling, there was a time I sent a tweet to Simon Ekpa.
Right.
I said, okay, look, you are there pumping your chest. I said, look at Maiyegun. I use you as a reference point because after watching the video of what you are doing to educate those children in school, I was so impressed, and that gave me that mind to follow you all the time. I always listen to your program, I follow all your episodes, and I told Twitter, and I said, Ekpa, because he replied, I said, what you are doing, look at Maiyegun. I said, he's trying to educate these people. And I see, followership is not just when people do see what you are doing and see the light in what you are doing, they want to follow you. You tell people to sit at home. These are people who don't have means of livelihood. Nigerians, most of these people feed from hand to mouth. If they don't go out, they don't eat. Now you're telling them to sit at home. With what are they going to feed with? You see, the thing is, and again, when people keep saying government is doing it, and when you keep doing things that you play into the hands of the people that are
hands, you know, you are not doing this, you will never hurt your people. But every time you make this pronouncement, they do this. Why don't you just starve them? Like, don't feed them. Starve them of all that. Maybe that can even expose them, but you know. Unfortunately.
No, you see, and again, this coming from the angle. The other day, this man spoke in went to Asurok to speak after he given the Asari Dokubo.
Yeah,
he said the Buhari government gave me contract to secure the many states in Nigeria, including the southeast. Right. So the question is, what is the nature of the contract? What was the nature of the contract that Buhari gave him? You know that this Buhari has made some inflaming comments about the Southeasterners. And he said, this somebody came out. So there are some things that the kind of confessional
has made open threat against the Igbos on this social media many times.
Yes.
So if Nigeria gave him contract of security to secure some places, we would love to know the nature of that contract.
What was the nature of the contract? And the Owerri prison was people went to Owerri prison. Yeah. Who did that? There was this killings in that Zombe area. Who did that? And people said they saw people who speaking as a wana. That which is the language of Asari and his people.
You're right.
So the thing is, the only thing I would tell Simon Ekpa, whatever it is he's fighting, he want to protect his people, he should not putting them in a state where they will be more further exposed. Because by so doing, you are playing into the hands of those who are doing all these things. Or if you say you're not doing it, you are playing into the hands of the people who are using your platform to launch and further attack on your people. That doesn't work. They put it on you. So that's my the angle I'm doing, and I pray that God will continue to guide you. Amen. God will continue to sustain you, and the wisdom He has given you, He lets it continue to increase it, so that more people will listen to you and learn from what you are saying. Because wisdom is not just something. Wisdom is not something that is just given to anybody. There are people that are blessed with wisdom. God has blessed you with wisdom. People should tap into that and be educated. Thank you so much.
For sharing your view here, and that's what makes MaiyegunDiary Politico unique. When people give me accolades and say all the beautiful things to me, I always kind of, send it back to you as well. When people call in and they articulately share their view, even if it's going to be controversial or not, that makes the whole program a whole package, and that's what makes me love it. And I bet that's why you do too. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun. Mr. Badero.
Yeah.
How is the family?
Badero, we thank God though. How is yours?
Frank from Portugal. Well,
Badero, Baba, how you doing?
I did, my brother. I did. Let me just
you don't want to miss this tonight too, eh?
I don't want. I've been calling you for over 30 minutes to bang.
But I'm glad you got in, Baba. How is it?
I got it.
It's been a while, by the way.
Yeah, it's been a while, my brother. Portugal is cool. It's nice. We're enjoying the weather and the food. Everything is okay.
I wish Yoruba
jealous,
land can be like Portugal. I would be very, very happy, seriously. But long, Nigeria, Yoruba land divided that be Portugal. Me, care for Nigeria. You know, come with the one. Kobada, Kin Temi Ati one.
800,000 barrels of oil. They want jigbe lola to imagine that in Yoruba nation. Do you actually believe how much that money is and what that can do?
How much that money is?
And that's just one. And just one we then discover. What about other things across
one
Yoruba
of
land that are just being
exactly
Nigeria or
missing at all. Me, Mokota, we have cool as one Nigeria. And these people calling themselves elite. I want the show. I have BSc in this. I have masters in this. I have your brain is not working. You don't think straight. But we just like Yabai. Let me just go straight, let me just say my sympathy and condolences go to Benue people, and may the soul of the people that died today rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
Amen.
Let me remember those from Nasarawa, Jos,
exactly. Everybody. Let me just go straight. Two-Face, you are from Benue. Listen carefully. If you can't say something about this killing going on with your people, then you are receiving go to Simon Ekpa. Biafran people should appreciate Simon Ekpa. Seriously.
Give me one second. Okay, yeah, I think that's me back.
Okay,
please continue. Yeah, it's resolved itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Biafrans should appreciate Simon Ekpa. Because to do ban shekwen.
That's right.
I will say it to you, Hebos. Whoever that is against Simon Ekpa should think twice. Look at us in the West, in the Yoruba side. Look at what they are doing to us. They went to CCL, is it Redeemed Christian Church? They shot people. They went to Ogun State again. They shot people. They killed them. They started putting fears in our people's heart. The Yorubas can't even speak at the moment. No Sunday Igbo, nobody can speak. Sunday Igbo is in exile. Do we have any Sunday Igbo again since he left the Benin Republic? No.
We don't.
But you guys have Simon Ekpa when Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. If not for Simon Ekpa, that thing going on in Yoruba land will be happening in your place. Because that thing, Simon Ekpa did not allow that thing to happen. They set up unknown gunmen. Because the Fulanis want to come in and start killing, raping your people, like they are doing in Yoruba land now. But Simon Ekpa refused. He didn't allow them to do that. He never want that to happen to his own people. Then he said, sit at home. And they will send unknown gunmen to come and start killing people. What has Simon Ekpa done? You guys know that Simon Ekpa never killed his own people. He never asked anybody to go and kill his own people. That is, Nigeria is a fraud. We all know Nigeria is not working. These Fulani people will make everything to make sure they don't care how many people that are killed in your part, how many people that are killed in my part. They don't care. They don't care. They don't, because their mission is to take over that land. For example, I will say something to you. Look at what they are doing to us in Yoruba land. Ilorin is a Yoruba land.
It is.
Imagine they are stopping our own traditional belief that woman should not practice or celebrate the traditional, our own, exactly.
Yoruba spirituality, they say, no, it's not allowed. That's an insult.
It's not allowed in Yoruba land. Will you Igbos allow that to happen in your own place? That is what Samonepa is preventing. And for me, if Sunday Igboho can prevent that from happening to us, I won't even mind how many people that will lose their life for we to lost our heritage, because we have to protect our heritage, and we have to lost life to protect our heritage. Like somebody said about Island, Maiyegun.
Yes, sir.
Island made a lot of sacrifice. They did worse even than what Samonepa is doing now.
No, when things got to head now, when things got to finally, their story is so long, isn't it?
Go and read that history. They killed their own saboteur. You know what they did? They set them up, and they want to know that all this plan we are having inside this house, who is taking it out to these British people? They have to look for a way, like this, sit at home in their own way, to see who are these saboteurs. And they later got them that, Pam Omo, one in Maiyegun, they killed them.
Delete.
So that, look at Ireland today. They got liberated. They are free from British. So why are we complaining? Without our people sitting at home, the Fulanis are killing us every day. The West are not sitting at home. Look how many people dying every day. Is it not better we sit at home in Yoruba land? Is it not better? Is it not better? Look at the man they kidnapping in those states. Every day we said Buhari is there. That's why the Fulanis are killing us. Now Tinubu is there now. They continue doing the worst.
It seems they are back with their full
force. It seems they are back. And the vice president of Tinubu is a Fulani, is one of the Fulani people that created all these things going on.
He is originally Kanuri.
He is funding them, exactly.
And
look at the stupid Yorima coming to
Boko Haram, you will
exactly. Look at Yerima
as commanders.
Exactly. Unfortunately. Look at Yerima. Yerima that created Boko Haram, that is marrying 9 years old kid, telling us that they should negotiate with terrorists. Look at them. When Nnamdi Kanu was there, Buhari was there. How many of the Igbo's elders went to Buhari and told him, you have to negotiate? Look at how Gumi is bragging against Tinubu. Look at how the stupid senator from Niger that the DSS arrested is bragging in front of Tinubu. Can any Igbo or Yoruba man brag in front of Buhari when he was the president? No. This is where we have to. This is why we have to stand up. We have to stand up. We have to. We can't be a slave in our own land. And I will say the last thing.
Please.
Look, let me say something now. Whether we like it or not, there will be war in Nigeria, because that thing they are doing will lead to war. Because for Fulani to come to Yoruba land and start telling us Iya Isheshe cannot practice our own Isheshe, that will lead to war. Secondly, if the Igbos want, let them keep going against Simon Ekpa, because I know one day their eye will open. Only those that have businesses, that they think about their own businesses, that are against Simon Ekpa. I'm not an Igbo man. I'm a Yoruba man. Yes, I love what Simon Ekpa is doing. More,
it's got a fan in you, and you have actually proved, you have pushed his cause in a way that a lot of people are agreeing with you right now in the comments. Seriously, at all.
Thank you, Maiyegun. Thank you, Odaro.
Thank you. Okay, nice one. So I have another caller on the line, and the time is already wrapping up. This may be my last caller or second two. Hello there. Problem with connection. When you struggle to call in, and you are kind of, your call is picked, then network connection will let you connect. Do you know that kind of feeling? It's just gonna be like, oh my God, village people, connect. I'm sorry if your call couldn't connect to the rest of the, okay? But I have another person on the line. Hello there.
Yeah, hello, Maiyegun General.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Thank you. Yeah, just want to triple that guy that talk now. I love him. I love him so much. He talks so well.
So you call back to come and say, yeah, guy, I love you.
Yeah, I love him. See, you see the killings in Nigeria is more than what is happening in Ukraine, where the whole world are shouting. That is to tell you that Africa they are not people. Nobody's talking about it. Now, is this Samuel Ekpa that is killing people in Benue State?
No.
Is this Samuel killing people in Kaduna?
Well, not. No.
Okay. Now, Maiyegun, you are in Scotland.
I'm in Glasgow.
If you
Yes,
travel
sir.
to Nigeria, Glasgow. Yeah, I was in Glasgow last year. Moga. I came to Moga.
Oh.
I was in Moga last year for an
you'll be mad, Baba.
So,
go on, sir.
Yeah. So you see now you are in Glasgow now.
Yes, sir.
If you go to Nigeria, you enter a place to Lagos. Can you travel on the road to your village?
Well, not without finding out if it's safe. Well, for now I can, but not without me looking aside. If my car should break down around 7:30 p.m. along Lagos Ibadan Expressway, you may never see me again.
So is this Samuel Ekpa that going to stop you on the road?
No.
Igbo should be very, very proud and happy for what Samuel Ekpa is doing. They thought if they take the canoe away, Biafra will die. That's what they did. But they never know there was a Joshua somewhere.
That is waiting.
They would never know that there was a Joshua there. When
you know what somebody told me? You know what somebody told me? They said if they do anything to Ekpa, nobody have a clue who is going to come next. Maybe that one will come be, you know what I mean? See, let's spare the time. Let one other person take that last slot. You know, you've been here before.
All right,
thank you. So let me take one more call and we can call it a night. Hello there. Hopefully disconnects. Hello.
Hello, Maiyegun channel.
How are you?
Good. I'm good.
His voice sounds like.
Actually.
Sorry, who am I speaking with?
This is Tony.
Tony. Yeah. Sounded like one of these my regular caller or the Nipagu. I've not heard from you for a very long time. Tony, how are you, sir?
I'm good. And you?
Well, very well. I'm here. Thank you.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. Actually, I just want to throw a little contribution to the program.
You are welcome. Go for it, sir.
Okay. Like the third caller, what the third caller told you is just a word of advice. And I'm still repeating the same thing he said.
Okay.
Don't allow them to use this your platform regarding whether to purpose, whether the Simon Ekpa fraction or the US fraction, don't allow them to use you. If they want to debate the issue regarding their problem, let them go and create their own platform. Simple. I want to ask you two questions.
Yes, sir.
And I'll rest my case. One, when COVID-19 started, how many months did all of them sit at home? All of them that is complaining today, sit at home.
It was
how many days?
For months, so it was probably like, I don't know the right answer, but it's for months.
Okay. How many of them died of hunger then?
Well,
or is Nigeria not out there?
A lot of them, and we all saw that they just screamed they couldn't really change it. But do you think that's
okay?
So go on, sir.
Okay. So why are they afraid of 1 week sit at home or 2 weeks sit at home that will give them freedom forever? Why are they kicking against it? That is my question.
Big question, I know.
So I raise my case regarding the issue of Tompolo and his gang.
Yes, sir.
Nigeria breeds criminal. If you are not a criminal, you cannot be conducive in Nigeria. That's all I want to contribute. Thank you very much.
I love that. Thank you so much, Tony. And thank you very much for us, for ending this on a sound note and advice as well, okay? Like I said, I'll answer my caller who brought the same up. It's a very good advice, all right? MaiyegunsDiary Politico is sort of a melting pot. And that is why I have always been very diplomatic in all of this. See, I can sit down here and feign ignorance that I don't know all of the things going. I do. Okay? But if you have people who are supposed to be together and you watch them tear themselves apart, but there's something I notice, all right? A lot of us know what is going on, okay? But if you are not a Biafran, yeah, if you dabble into it, all right, even the two factions you call factions, they will join together and they will tear you. So I choose diplomacy since the intention is not to say who is right or who is wrong. If the purpose is liberation and if it's about the people, I kind of believe that it shouldn't be difficult for us to understand ourselves here and there. But if people are never going to understand themselves, I chose that when Nnamdi Kanu comes out, right, kind of everything will just fix itself, not without any skirmish here and there, all right? But the time we have on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, there's only one thing that unites all of us here. Whether you want Yoruba nation or you want Biafra, you want regional system, you are obedient. Even you articulators or Agbadorians, listen to me. There is one thing that brought all of us here. And if you will say it loud to yourself, and that thing is this: we are all victims of a failed country and failed leadership. Whatever we choose to be our anger today of why we just don't support status quo anymore, we want Biafra, the injustice, the inequality, the unfairness, and every other thing that everybody can say, the marginalization and all that. When you come on to MaiyegunsDiary Politico, now one thing where we get in common with that too. Not Nigeria. Sure, you get. We have one thing in common. We are all victims of a failed country by failed leaders. We now have a more divided country and divided people. So it is always very good to have a place called a sanctuary, not toxic, not dirty and all of that. So personally, I focus on the criminals who destroyed Nigeria. Now, if you happen to be from any camp, whether you are Revolution Now, whether you are Biafra, whether you are Oduduwa Republic, or you are from Kwara Republic, or even Arewa, you are a Muslim, a Christian, or somebody who doesn't believe in any religion. But there's something that we have in common. We are all victims of a failed Nigeria. So when you come here, I kind of want to make it a sanctuary. If I'm going to be toxic against anyone, it should be against those who brought us here. Sure, you get. Now, if we can't join here, we can't fight ourselves because of the ideas and all of that. It does not go well. But again, it is MaiyegunsDiary Politico. I speak my mind, you speak your mind. You touch me one, I gentle. You touch me two, I gentle. You touch me the third time, I do bass. So if you get the chance, if I touch you once, you may be gentle, or you may just give it, we give it to ourselves, not because we want to dwell in that toxicity, but we want to build from it and realize that all of us can have what we want to. Listen, all of us can have everything we want until we actually are sure of what we want. I'm not a professor of politics or what have you. I don't know how to finger people's brain, but I can tell you the truth. Get you to think about it more, all right? So until we are united to fight back what make all of us victims, it's going to continue to be a catch-22, okay? So yeah, welcome to MaiyegunsDiary Politico. Feel here, relax, share your view, and don't ever feel like somebody's going to bully you for speaking your mind, okay? Or if you can do so with the mind that you are not trying to kind of, judge and all that. Anyway, I'm sorry. I told you I shouldn't be telling you how to speak. But again, remember, there are so many people that trust this platform as more kind of clean enough for them to understand what is going on in Nigeria and why people are making decisions they are making. They want this or they want that. And everything we do, please, it's always ideal for those of us who have little influence here and there. Think about those who don't have what we have. So when you're making decisions and all that, right? Just think about them. And for leadership, empathy comes with leadership. Okay. Sometimes there are tough decisions to be made. All right. It's uncomfortable. There are some others too. We say decisions. You make decisions that is really, really uncomfortable for you to make on behalf of people. And sometimes you make decisions, right, that you yourself will have to be the bearer of it. It's very uncomfortable as well, right? It is called the trait of good leadership. People will listen. One of the best quality of a good leader is somebody who listens. All right. Again, thank you for spending your evening with me. Okay. I'm going to see you again when I see you. Right. But don't leave without liking this broadcast. All right. Like it, share it, and subscribe. Next time we see, it's going to be about other things again. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun Diary Diary Politico. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.